Hi, it's Jennifer Jallogat from Jennifer Speaks. I wanted to address briefly the recent internet buzz and melee regarding yesterday's appearance or taping of Bethenny Frankel's show Bethenny, which is a nationally syndicated television show. Bethenny is well known for her role in the reality television show Real Housewives of New York. And her spinoff, Bethenny Gets Married, Bethenny Ever After, and she famously was able to sell her Skinny Girl company to a major distillery and make a lot of money, and now she has her television show. So she booked Omarosa Stalwart, who's well known as being an African-American woman who, she's a reality star. She was on the first season of The Apprentice, I believe, and, I think it was the first season of The Apprentice, or one of the early seasons. And she's, shrewd, and she, says what she wants. She's biting, and she, can be condescending and cut people down. So during the show, they have some sort of ongoing existing beef that, some of us may not know about. But anyway, and during the show, Omarosa essentially was calling Bethenny on her own show to task. Essentially said that she as a white woman, or just white women, and Bethenny's a white woman, can advance and get along farther in life being mediocre. So, of course, the audience, and a lot of people were like, oh, because that's kind of like, anyway. That as an African-American woman, she has to work harder and do a lot more with talent in order to get to the same place where a white woman who's mediocre can. So it turns out people are deciding whether they're Team Omarosa or Team Bethenny based on which woman they like best. And then, they'll make their arguments around that. I wanted to chime in because I don't have a time to write on this right now, but I wanted to at least do a video log with my perspectives. I just have two things to say about that. One, as to Bethenny Frankel, Omarosa's wrong, because I follows her. I don't really watch TV that much, but I did watch some episodes of Real Housewives of New York and Bethenny's other shows, and I saw from that she was on Martha Stewart's reality show. She didn't win, but she wanted to be the next Martha Stewart, and she got along farther in the competition, and eventually she landed and parlayed her way into Real Housewives of New York, which was great for elevating her brand, making her a little celebrity. And then from there, she used her, all of that notoriety or, exposure and brand awareness to promote her Skinny Girl line and her chef business. And with the Skinny Girl line, during her Bethenny Ever After shows, I saw her pound pavements, get a lot of doors slammed in her face. She worked hard. She and her team, put together perspectives. They got told no a lot. And eventually, after they did it on their own and they won, distillery company that initially rejected them came back and bought them out. So that's a winner. And then even on her show, in order to get her show, Bethenny watched what Wendy Williams did, and she followed in the same directions. And Bethenny was able to get a short run, limited market summer show and parlay it into a nationally syndicated show, which she has now. That's not mediocre. A lot of people can't do that, no doubt. So that's to one. As to the second point, whether their race, gender, wealth, access, connections, even where they live, how they grew up, whether all of those things that are non-substantive, have nothing to do with their abilities, can in fact advance them farther in life or further in life than other people. Absolutely. And what we see and what we've seen in the tech industry and, in journalism and a lot of other different industries is a lot of people are unwilling to recognize where their privilege that has nothing to do with their abilities do in fact help them. And in the tech space, for example, every 3 months, there's some white guy on a stage or having a Twitter beef going on about meritocracy, how all you have to do is work hard and you'll get recognized and you'll succeed, or you'll be able to parlay your work into something successful and then you'll be successful like us. Total BS. And the one that resonated with me more when I saw that was Jason Calacanis, and I actually tweeted at him. He and I had a Twitter exchange last February when he was having a Twitter debate with Jamel Bowie of The Atlantic on something he said at a conference about how tech journalism is all meritocracy. And he said, I can tell you the tech industry and tech media space are based largely on post-race. And it's pure meritocracy. Page views rule. Seriously. And I wanted to address this because of something that happened to me yesterday. And I thought all of this was timely because I discovered that a popular parenting site. I have several different websites. One of the sites that are most popular, that gets the most hits, is a parenting site. I discovered a popular site that's backed by a major corporation had used, had sort of cribbed something I had done almost verbatim. They used my format. So I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then it was kind of like it piggybacked off of feelings. I was feeling kind of way about it because a couple of days earlier, I discovered that they had rebranded their annual sort of like best bloggers, series or whatever they were going to do. And they called it something 100. And my blog, which is Belly Itch blog, I've been planning Belly Itch 100 for 2 years because I'm small. I have a small staff. I do most of the work. I have an idea that's 2 years, but it's going to take me 2 years or 3 years to bring it to market because I have life, I part-time lawyers after I make some business. I have a family, I have kids, they're in school. So I don't have the ability, but because they're a well-capitalized company, their idea can go from an idea form to paper to market faster. And they're going to get those page views that would have gone to me had I had those resources. So it's not as simple as just do work, just come up with great ideas and you'll win. So, I thought about that. And then when I did some research, I discovered some other sites had done the same thing. I have two posts that I've done recently that took me a lot of work to do is because they didn't exist before. Because I'm not about reinventing the wheel. So I wanted to, for one of them was, I wanted to, how to do a do-it-yourself shoot. Because I wanted to do a shoot. I didn't have funding or money to get a large budget or get a lot of models. So I went online and discovered it hadn't been done before. So I'm like, dang it. And I looked lots of places. No one had done a list, step-by-step list. Is this what you need to do to organize your own low-budget do-it-yourself shoot? So I said, fine. So I did the shoot. I got some information. I called some people. I found some stuff. And after I was done, as a benefit, I said, let me put this together in a blog post. This was in July 2012. 2 months later, some Russian woman, Olivia, does the same thing, almost the same headline, how to do a shoot in 5 steps. And a lot of it is like the themes are similar from mine, which is fine because I did it for other people. I don't mind. But if you're going to put it on a site that's page 1 rank or have a higher rank than mine, you're stealing copy from me. So when someone searches that, instead of them finding my page and I get those page views, Jason, they're going to get the page views because they're highly capitalized. So you can do good content, but if someone is a bigger site and they take your content and put it on their site, you're not going to get the page views. So that's where meritocracy doesn't match up with skills and talent. So that was all my content. And I discovered over 5 or 6 sites, some of them on HuffPost. I contacted some of them, the editors, and what happens all the time is the editors always say, no, we sat down with our writer and we thought up of it. And we found there was lots of articles on this. Yeah, they all came from me. I'm the one that originated right here. And, and they'll defend them, but we can get our lawyers on it. It's kind of like, it's so simple as to say, we were scrolling through the internet and we wanted to do something unique to our market. And we discovered this person had already done it. Here's this person's site to thing. You can go see theirs. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that and we're going to make it unique to just you. Doing that simply will give me credit, will give me some of the credits where I might get some traffic from that while still recognize me. Now you don't do that in the back end. I'm upset because I'm just like, wow. Because I see that they're getting comments saying, I've looked everywhere. I've never seen this anywhere before. And that's because they wouldn't have seen it. They would have seen it before had you not taken the content and your page 1 ranked site got to them first. So that's where page views and meritocracy don't always meld together. Anyway, so I was ranting about that one. Anyway, the end of the day is that Omarosa was on point in terms of people's privileges and non-substantive, non-talent related benefits that they have in their back pocket do in fact advance them and help them along in life. And when you recognize that, you'll go farther, and then you'll be able to acknowledge. And if you are in the power of make a position, do things to just not necessarily to help those along, but at least to go look for talent elsewhere, or at least to recognize it elsewhere, or at least to not steal people's content and just assume because they don't have any comments on it, or they might not have retweeted a lot, that perhaps no one's going to know, because we're going to find out. So, so anyway, that's it. I mean, it was just a response, but it turned into a personal rant because, I found out these people are jacking me left and right, and I just had to say something. All right, that's it.